Dear students, I am Dr. A.S. Govind, Associate Professor and HOD of Physics, Vijaya College, Basavanagudi, Bangalore. In this lecture, we are learning molecular physics first part. That is, we are learning about the pure rotational spectrum. First, we will go to the introduction part. In the introduction part, you have to remember the isolated atom properties. An isolated atom has electron energy levels. So you already know that for a hydrogen atom you have energy levels like this: minus 13.6 electron volt for the first level. Similarly for second level, 13.6 by 4. So that is 4 3s are 12 and 4, so you get 3.4. And you see that this difference is approximately 10 eV. So this is the order of differences that you have in case of isolated atoms. So now that is the next point you have to remember. The difference in energies are few electron volt, and whenever there is a transition between that, the wavelengths emitted could be X-rays, ultraviolet, visible and infrared regions. So remember the order of the spectrum. So in the electromagnetic spectrum, you have one part violet to red. That is the visible region, approximately 400 nanometer to 800 nanometer is the visible region, and shorter wavelength compared to violet, that is ultraviolet, and still shorter is X-rays, and beyond red you have infrared, and beyond that you have micrometer, that is all the microwave. So here you are also having the infrared. So now mostly atoms emit in these ranges, and you also know that in the hydrogen spectrum, the Balmer series in the visible region and other series are all in the infrared region. So beyond red you have infrared, this is called far infrared, and beyond that you have microwave region. So that is the next thing you have to remember. That is for the isolated atom. So an isolated atom therefore gives a line spectrum. But in case of a molecule, so if you imagine a diatomic molecule, it can rotate about the line joining the two atoms, and it also has electrons around each atom. So you can have transitions here, that is the electronic levels, and these atoms can vibrate because the bond is flexible, it's not rigid, and also it can rotate. So I have vibration and also rotational energies. So there are three kinds of energies in case of a molecule, and the total energy is sum of all these energies, and all these energies are quantized. And as you already know, these electron energy levels are few electron volt. Vibrational energy levels are much smaller, so these differences are larger than this, and rotational energies are still smaller. So the vibrational energies are in the range of less than an electron volt, and therefore energy levels are very close, and therefore spectral lines are also very close. Usually it will be in the infrared region, and because they are very close, it results in a band spectrum. So molecules finally give a band spectrum. That's what you have to remember. And the rotational energies are much smaller, less than 0.005 electron volt. So that also gives very close lines and results in a band spectrum, and that is in the far infrared and microwave region. That is for the rotational energies. So going further, we study now in the part 1 only the pure rotation and spectra. That is the content of this lecture. Yes. So for pure rotation, we consider a diatomic molecule. So notice the symbols in the diagram. You have two atoms connected by a bond, and because we consider pure rotation, we assume the bond to be rigid, and the center of mass is closer to the heavier one, and therefore when you write the diagram, you should not write it in the middle. You should write it closer to the bigger one. And because the distances are not equal, you have to give two symbols for that. Mass m1 of the atom, it is at a distance r1 from the center of mass. M2 is at a distance r2. Total distance between the atoms is capital R. That is also the bond length. And the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the line joining the two atoms. And it goes through the center of mass. That is the description of the diagram. And the total distance r1 plus r2 is equal to capital R is the total distance. And now, by the law of moments, by the definition of center of mass, because it is closer to the heavier one, this mass into this distance is equal to the second mass into second distance. So m1 r1 is equal to m2 r2, and by cross multiplying we get r1 equals m2 r2 by m1. So now I have shown these important equations in purple color. So it is enough to remember those so that you can simplify it further. So now the total distance is r1 plus r2. This r1 can be substituted here so that it becomes capital R equals m2 r2 by m1 plus r2. Take r2 as common and take LCM, you will get this. And now if you cross multiply, you will get an expression for R2. So R2 is M1 by M1 plus N2 into capital R. And if you do similarly substituting for R2 and finally get R1, you will get a similar expression for R1. So notice that capital R, M1 plus M2 are all similar. In case of R2, you will get M1. In case of R1, you will get M2. So that is the first part of the derivation. So what you have to remember is total distance r1 plus r2 equal to capital R, and by law of moments m1 r1 equals m2 r2. You have to substitute r1 into this and get the expression, and finally similarly do for r2 and get the expression for r1. So you are getting r1 and r2 in terms of masses and capital R. Now the next important equation is the moment of inertia. It is mass into distance square. Because there are two masses, you will get m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square, and you have to substitute for r1 and r2 into this and simplify. That is all you have to remember. So there are only three important equations to be remembered. So m1 into r1 square plus m2 into r2 square simplified. So notice that m1 plus m2 whole square and r square is common. So m1 plus m2 and this m1 and one m2 from this, m2 here, m1 from this. So m1, m2 can be taken as common. So one m2 remains here, one m1 remains here. So you'll get m1 plus m2 in the numerator, and that will cancel with this. So this part is cancelled, and this is written as mu r square. So this part is the mu. That is called the reduced mass. So that is by definition, you have to remember that m1 plus m2 by m1 plus m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 is called reduced mass. Why it is called reduced mass is because its value will be less than both m1 and m2. It is equivalent to slightly reduced value, and the physical meaning of that is it is equivalent to a single particle with the reduced mass at a distance r. That means instead of two molecules rotating about the center of mass, if we have the reduced mass at a distance capital R, it will have the same moment of inertia. So moment of inertia finally becomes mu r square. So that is the final step after this derivation. So now we will go to the next part. So continuing further. Yes, so we will calculate the expression for energy now. So E represents kinetic energy of rotation. It is half of I omega square, similar to half mv square for linear motion. It is expressed in terms of angular momentum. L equals I omega, or omega equals L by I. So substituting this here, substituting omega here, we will get half of I into L by I whole square. So that becomes L square by 2I. And angular momentum according to quantum mechanics is quantized. This is the total angular momentum quantum number J star, which is root of J into J plus 1. So substituting that for L square, you will get J into J plus 1 root square cancelled into h bar square by 2I, and I can be substituted as mu r square, or if you keep it as it is, substitute for h bar. So h bar is h by 2 pi, and when you square it, you will get h square by 4 pi square. So finally you will get this expression for energy. Now we don't keep this as it is because normally we want frequency or 1 by lambda. So if you use E equals h nu, standard Planck's equation, nu for frequency of a photon, and if you substitute nu as c by lambda and take this hc cross multiplied, you will get nu bar, which is called wave number, is equal to reciprocal of wavelength, which is E by hc. So this E by hc is what we want. So therefore this E is divided by hc, and that is denoted as EJ, energy corresponding to quantum number J. So h square by 8 pi square I. So one h is cancelled here and you will get a c here, so that you will get h by 8 pi square IC. So this is called B, which is the rotational constant. So finally we will get the expression EJ, B into J plus 1. B is the rotational constant h by 8 pi square IC. Now we can see what are the different values that you get by substituting for B here. So you can see here, if you put B equals 0, J equals 0, then all this becomes 0. So E0 is 0. And if you put J equals 1, this is 1. 1 plus 1 becomes 2. 2 into 1 is 2. So you'll get E1 is 2B. If you put J equals 2, this becomes 2. This becomes 3. So 2 into 3 becomes 6. So E2 is therefore 6B. Similarly, E3 will be 12B. E4 is 20B. So first thing that you can notice is that the energy levels are not equally spaced. So you can see that the 0 to 1 there is only 2B difference, and from here to here you have a 4B difference, and from 2 to 3 you have 6B difference. That means differences are not equal. That means the spacings are not equal. That is an important thing to be remembered. We'll calculate now the expression for frequency. The selection rule says delta J, that is change in J, can be 1 increase or 1 decrease, that is the plus or minus 1. For absorption, delta J is plus 1. So in case of molecules, usually absorption spectrum is studied because to get the emission spectrum, the molecule should be at a very high temperature. Usually at that temperature, many molecules will decompose. So therefore, we usually study molecules under absorption spectrum. And for absorption, the transition should be upward. So this is the J, this will be J plus 1. So this is the final value and this is the initial value. J plus 1 minus J is therefore plus 1. So delta J is therefore plus 1 for absorption. So we will remember that EJ is Bj into J plus 1. Energy of J plus 1 minus energy of J. That is what we want as the difference here. So for J plus 1, you have to substitute J plus 1 at both the places of J here. So it becomes J plus 1, J plus 1 plus 1 is J plus 2. This is energy for J plus 1 minus EJ as it is. Now you can take out B and J plus 1 as common for both of them. So you will get J plus 2 minus J. So J gets cancelled. You are left with 2 here. So therefore, the nu bar, which is the delta EJ, is 2BJ plus 1. And if you want frequency, it should be multiplied by nu bar. So remember that velocity is frequency into wavelength, and frequency is therefore C by lambda. This 1 by lambda is nu bar. So therefore it is C into nu bar. So frequency is C into nu bar. So when you multiply it by C, one C here gets cancelled, which was there in the B. So you'll get h by 4 pi square I into j plus 1. This 4 comes because in the B you had 8 and you have a 2 here, and cancelling that you are getting a 4. Going further, we can see what are the values that you get when you substitute for different values of j. So you have, if you put j equals 0, this becomes 0. You will get only 2b. That is the nu bar 0 value. And if you put j equals 1, it becomes 2b into 1 plus 1. So 2b into 2, that becomes 4b. So notice that it is double of this value. So it is nu bar 1 is therefore twice of nu bar 0. Similarly, you can calculate for others, which is listed in the next slide. We will come to that later. So now you can see that you are getting like nu bar to nu bar like that, 1, 2, 3, 4 ratio. That is important thing to remember. So wave numbers and hence the frequencies are equally spaced. Energies are not equally spaced, but the frequencies are equally spaced, and the spacing is equal to nu bar naught. And these frequencies will be in the microwave region. Going further, we will see what are the energy levels. So energy levels B j into j plus 1 not equally spaced. Already we have seen that. And these are the frequencies that you get. These two values we have already calculated. And similarly, if you calculate for other values, delta E, you will get 6B and 8B. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are the energy differences. And the nu bar j values are in the ratio 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what we said earlier. The frequencies are equally spaced. And if you represent in the energy level diagram, notice that the spacings are not equal. So if this is 0 and this is 2, 6 should be little more than double this. So 6 will come here. 12 should be double of 6. So therefore it should come somewhere here like that. You have to adjust the spacings. And for absorption, transitions are upward. So first transition 0 to 2b, j equals 0 to 1. That is the first transition. That gives nu bar 0. And the second transition, j equals 0 to 2, 0 to 3 are all not possible because the selection rule says delta j equals plus 1. So there is only one difference allowed. So 0 to 1 is the only thing possible. Next is 1 to 2, similarly 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. Upward transitions. So this gives 2 nu bar, this gives 3 and this gives 4 nu bar 0. So nu bar 1 is twice of nu bar 0, nu bar 2 is 3 times, nu bar 3 is 4 times of nu bar 0. And that's what we mean when we say frequencies are having equal spacing. So notice that all these gaps are equal and the difference that you get here is nu bar 0. So this is the explanation that you give for the spectrum. Frequencies are equally spaced. This is an important thing to be remembered. Continuing further, we will consider a simple numerical example which you have to practice. Similar examples you have to practice. So a numerical can be like this. Absorption line of the carbon monoxide molecule for j equals 1 to 2 transition occurs at 2.5 10 power 11 Hertz. Calculate the moment of inertia and bond length of the molecule. Given 1 atomic mass unit is 1.66 10 power minus 27 kg. Now the first step in solving the numerical is to collect all the data that is given here. J equals 1, j plus 1 is 2, that is the upper level is 2. And frequency, this should be nu bar. Frequency is 2.5 10 power 11 Hertz. Mass of C is taken as M1, that is 12U, we know that. Mass of O is M2, that is 16U. We are supposed to calculate moment of inertia and bond length. So the next step is first you have to think what is the method of solving it. So observe that expression for frequency has I in it, and therefore substitute into that, substitute the value of frequency given, you should get I. And use the expression I equals mu r square. Mu can be calculated, I is already done, and therefore you will get R. So this is the method for solving the problem. That's the root. First you have to think on that. Now we will do that step by step. Expression for frequency directly taken. So remember that nu bar has h by 8 pi square I etc. in that. So you are having into 2, that becomes 4, and nu is C into nu bar. So the C present here gets cancelled, and that's why you are getting this expression. And you cross multiply this so that you will get this expression for I. So all the things in the right hand side are given, and therefore you have to just substitute, simplify for the next part. So do that carefully. So you are getting h is 6.625 10 power minus 34, 4 pi square, frequency value is given, and j plus 1 is 2. And simplifying all that, you are getting this as the first answer. So this is the answer for moment of inertia. Then going further, mu is m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 by definition. Putting the values 12 into 16, 12 plus 16, you are getting 6.857 in atomic mass unit. So convert it to kg by conversion factor 1.66 10 power minus 27 kg. Simplify, you will get the mu value in kg. That has to be substituted here. So therefore, you are next using I equals mu r square, and therefore r square is I by mu, r is square root of I by mu. I is first answer, you have calculated that. So put that here, and mu is just calculated, put that here, so that I by mu simplified with square root, you are getting this. And in terms of angstrom unit, this 10 power minus 10 is angstrom, so it is 1.086 angstrom. So this is the way you can solve any numerical that is given. We'll summarize whatever we have learned. So first, a molecule has electronic, vibrational and rotational energies which are all quantized, and the difference in energies are in this order. The difference in electronic energy is larger, few electron volt, and next is the vibrational energy difference. Next smaller is the rotational energy difference. And I equals mu r square, E equals I omega square, L equals I omega, and L is also J star H. So you have to remember R1 plus R2 equals R, and M1 R1 equals M2 R2, and mu equals M1 M2 by M1 plus M2. Using all this, you will get the expression for I. That has to be substituted here. So next, you are getting the expression for energy, substituting this J into that. You are getting EJ, which is E by Hc. Remember that it is not just E, it is E by Hc. And therefore, you are getting H by 8 pi square IC J into J plus 1. This part is called B, which is the rotational constant. Then, energy levels are not equally spaced. You have to remember that. You can go back and look at the values for that. Selection rule, delta J is plus or minus 1, but for absorption, it is only plus 1. That is 1 increased. Spectrum, therefore, is the absorption between EJ and EJ plus 1. So higher energy EJ plus 1 minus lower energy EJ gives the difference in energy, which is taken as nu bar of J. So when you substitute this expression into this one, you will simplify and get this 2B into J plus 1. And you can put the values and see that frequencies are equally spaced. You can explain all that with a energy level diagram. So next we considered a simple numerical. You can practice similarly more number of numericals of that kind. So wish you good luck. Practice this. You can listen to this lecture any number of times. You can go back, you can pause at any place and start replaying from any other place and all. And we will give you more similar lectures because we are not able to have actual class sessions now. Thank you. We'll continue the other part, vibration, spectrum, and other things in the next lecture.